Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Lucia here for our weekly Tongren session. For those people that are new to our weekly sessions, in the chat on Facebook or on the website, please put in your requests for your basically Tongren mini session. This is Tongren Distance Healing based upon the TAM healing system, which has been developed over the last 30 years or so. And you yourself can get a treatment. Just put in your requests, such as a heart condition, pain, cancer, anything you like, and we will be happy to tap for you, as we call it, with our simple Tongren techniques. And now we are also live on Instagram. So let's begin our first session, first mini Qi transportation. This is distance healing, which is in many ways accessing the collective unconscious, or otherwise known as the morphic field. But let's begin. And as with anything, we want to do a full body because we are integrated, holistic bodies on the physical level, as we are interconnected with the earth, the environment, and everything that we eat and consume, and people that we see and integrate with on a regular basis. So, happy mama, Qi for perfect blood, lymph, and strong immune system. Make sure I get this all correct. Blood flow to the brain. 3-part process, very simple to do a complete tune-up. And if you can hear me okay, let me know. Just do a quick check-in, sound check for Instagram and for Esther. Hello, Master Peacemaker. And I got your text as well. Let me know if the sound and the video are working okay. So if anything, we initialize the command points of the brain. Sounds great. Last time I think I was a little bit too far away, but I do want people to see my hands, especially my students. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. So initialize the endocrine system, hypothalamus pituitary, the biochemical system, and then the bioelectrical system, sensory cortex, motor cortex. Blood flow to the brain, that's part one. Command points of the brain and command points of the brain stem. So that if there are people that are interested in learning Tongren, we teach it 8 to 10 times a year. No, not quite that. Not 6 times a year. We just finished up most of them. We'll be teaching again in June. I think it's in June. Or maybe May. Probably May. Yep. Lots of schedules. And there is still time if you register today or tomorrow morning. We have our 14-day clay detox program. Command points of the brain stem, and we'll work with Lara as well, who's together with Happy Mama. And I sent those recommendations for the fertility castor oil herbal kits. They look brilliant. I would highly recommend that. So part 2, blood flow to the brain and blood flow down the spine. And we will treat any hookah conditions today. C1 to C7. So we're working for perfect blood, lymph, and a strong immune system, and balanced hormones. And if anyone needs fertility as well. If not, C3 is for the eyes, ears, nose, and throat. GV17 for the eyes. C3 for the eyes. We're having some progress. So if everybody could give me a big yay. Come on, you guys. Healthy lymph and liver and emotions, also for Tongren. So hormone balancing, GV20, also good for growth hormone for the bones. Our best points for the bones are C6, C7, T1, and GB39. That's our good protocol for the bones. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the immune system. T1 to T8, I think I'm going to simplify that. T1 to 8. Yay! I hear it. Wow, great. Let's see if anybody else, is anybody here? Okay, making sure everybody's all set. So we're balancing the hormones. Just sit and breathe. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So let's work on T3 for the lymph. T4 for the skin detox. So for the lymph, T3, T7. T7 for the spleen. Continue with the veins, which will be GV17. C3 for the eyes, blood flow to the eyes for Catherine. Artery, spinal artery, then the entire spine. Strong immune system, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And for everyone, C1, C2, GB13, calm and relaxed mind. So let's see if we have any feedback here. And grounding. So we covered the bones, and one more aspect of the bones is the cranial sacral fluid, starting at the pituitary pineal gland, also known as the crystal palace. So crystal palace, pituitary area, to the sacrum, sacrum 1, 2, 3, 4, to support the bones and bone marrow, since it's like it is like a factory for T cells and B cells. And the lymph also has T cells and B cells in it to do a great job for cleansing. And let's work a bit on the balancing mechanism of the vagus nerve and vagal tone. CB13, CB13, gut-brain axis. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So that's for you, Catherine, and Happy Mama, and Laura. Good to see you as always. Starting off our time. So next we have Joe. Please add Julie to the MS group. I will be happy to do that. MS, always rule out Epstein-Barr virus. There are Epstein-Barr virus tinctures that I can recommend, homeopathically based. And then we have Dorothy Mansfield Marshall, Catherine, and you are welcome. You'll get your stuff, and I was going to ask if you also want, I will add one other thing, which is an eye herbal remedy, which I've ordered. I will also happily share that with you if you want to take it and give me feedback on it. That will be another good option, good stuff. So let's continue. Blood flow to the brain for MS. And for Esther, hip osteoarthritis, bladder neuropathy. Command points of the brain. Command points of the brain stem. So for things with MS, we work on inflammation. In your diet, definitely reduce your unhealthy fats, because that feeds viruses, which can be activated to be more hungry for fats. And the fats surround the myelin sheath of the actual nerves. Yes, Dorothy, you got the doll, the hammer. You met Tom in 2007. You would even qualify if you want to do a kind of a masterclass. But if you have requests, please send them. But you sound like you're doing good stuff. I would put the laser, if you're doing the laser, on GV17. I would put it on C3 and in Tong third eye. Just rotate those different things. So T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for MS. Inflammation, osteoarthritis. So I've decided an easy way to remember for tapping for people. T1 to T8 for the immune system. T1 for the bones and B cells. T2 for the thymus and T cells. T3 for the lungs and lymph, which is a part of the immune system. T4 for detox. Skin, which is a detox organ. T5 for the heart, which is blood flow. And oxygen. T6 is diaphragm and oxygen. T7 spleen. T8 pancreas, pancreatic enzymes. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and then T9 and T12, digestion, absorption, and elimination. Number 1 to 5. For the eyes, also T9 to support And Doug has a question. Is there a recommendation of how much olive oil to take today? It depends on your goals of why you're taking it. So let me know why you're taking it. Any oil is a saturated fat, which means there's a lot of fat in the diet. It's a concentrated fat. And too much oil in the diet can create inflammation. So it really depends on what your goal for it is. And it's always important to consider maybe for what your goal is, there may be something better. So let me know your goals and we can talk about it. That would be for you, Doug. T1 to T12. So for the hip, bladder, and neuropathy, neuropathy is good with B12 and alpha-lipoic acid combination. Castor oil packs or warm castor oil on different areas, but it's good to have some pressure. Like a pack. That's why it always comes with a pack, not just rubbing the oil on the skin. T7, blood flow and nerve flow for the bladder. T7, blood flow, sacrum 1 to 5 for the bladder. And the hips, lumbosacral plexus. PD. Oh, okay. If I understand that right, yep. If you want me to say what that is, I know what it is, but I want to make sure it's okay for you to discuss in public. But in general, lots of fats create inflammation. The goal with, say, certain conditions, if it's the one you're referring to, is to reduce inflammation, to detox, especially lead, to make sure there's no constipation, and to fix or support the microbiome with. So it is Parkinson's disease. I'm not sure myself familiar specifically with olive oil for Parkinson's disease. These are some recommendations I can give you. Number 1 is to detox, even a smoothie with cilantro and sea vegetables, like the detox smoothie from the medical medium. That's 1. Number 2, detox tinctures, because it's oftentimes lead toxicity. Number 3, the microbiome. constipation because certain proteins migrate from the gut to the brain, and then they clog up the brain, especially the substantia nigra part of the brain, which manages movement and tremors. So make sure you get rid of the constipation, get rid of the toxins, and reduce inflammation. So let's continue on down. Hip to hip for Esther. And then neuropathy, let's work on the two main areas of nerve bundles. So there are specific herbs, Doug, you can take for shaking based upon the Indian Ayurvedic medicine. It's called Mucuna pruriens, Pruriens, specifically for the shaking. I would also highly recommend anti-inflammatories and having your heavy metals tested. You can do it through hair analysis. I couldn't do it right now. I have none here, but hair analysis or blood. You need to rule out heavy metals such as arsenic, aluminum, mercury, and lead. Benzene, all of those. And grounding, vagus nerve, and also grounding. Arthritic Georgia Tribe. We'll work for all of you for arthritis next. But first, after Dorothy, macular degeneration, wet now in both eyes. So I've just ordered some eye herbs. With anything, I always try them myself. I did see really good reviews, and I actually watched, they had an hour and 15-minute infomercial, which did have some good basis in it. They hold you for over an hour to tell you what they got. These herbs are good for the eyes, even for getting rid of eyeglasses. That's what it says. I will look at it even more deeply myself. I know it's safe. I just want to make sure it's effective. So C3 for the eyes, and we'll repeat also for Catherine. C3 for the eyes, pouch point for the eyes, blood flow to the eyes, facial artery, carotid artery. And for Catherine and Dorothy, T9 right side liver, also for the eye support, Chinese medicine perspective. So Doug, the critical things for detoxing would be cilantro, parsley, things like chlorella or spirulina. It would be, the ones you're doing, turmeric. And then I would also recommend clay, which is a binder for toxins. Naturally will get rid of toxins in the body. Clay for feet or clay for baths. That would be a way to go. But sea vegetables, seaweeds, cilantro, parsley, blue-green algae or algae like spirulina or chlorella. Those are the critical ones for detoxing heavy metals. And they work. I've used them with other Parkinson's patients as well. And the herb is Mucuna, Mucuna, Pruriens. Okay, so next So keep up the good work with the laser, Dorothy. Use the laser for you on the third eye, the lower dantian, for charging the battery. And I Sawyer 76 looks new to me, but we don't want to miss anybody. Tunrakili, healthy lymph and liver and emotions. Kind of goes together. Liver and emotions, almost the same thing in terms of treating, and then healthy lymph. So blood flow to the brain for everyone. There's a great smoothie. It's a great formulation from the medical medium. It's called his Detox smoothie. It's perfect. It has everything that you need in it. If you email me, I can send you a copy, or you can find it online with the medical medium, who's a great source. But that smoothie is specifically for detoxing. It would be perfect for you, in addition to all the other things, the great things you're doing as well. Sometimes Parkinson's is also misdiagnosed Epstein-Barr virus or Lyme disease, so you need to rule those out. Blood flow to the brain. I had an interview this week on Tongren Station. Did anybody get to see it? It was with Jacqueline Fuller. Command points of the brain, command points of the brain stem, and the arthritic Georgia tribe. Fermented turmeric with black pepper. They even have them in gummies. That would be perfect. I know that works well for inflammation and pain. I think it's Garden of Life Company. I forget. It's organic, of course. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery. So T1 to T8 for inflammation. So make your smoothies count, Doug. Good chiropractic. Make sure to maximize blood flow to the brain. Sometimes posture can negatively impact my Parkinson's patients before. Their posture had changed. That's why we did the body work with them to fix their posture, increase the angles in the neck to the brain, because they had a deficiency in oxygen to the brain as well. And that goes for most people. As a tip. So Dorothy, you've been doing Tongren for a long time. T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for inflammation. Arthritis for the arthritic Georgia tribe. So try out those herbs, Doug, as well. Mucuna pruriens. Arthritic knees and hips. Castor oil on the knees, castor oil on the hips, with a bandage, or even clay poultices on the knees and hips, or alternate or combine it. Bruce, Steve, Linda, Brian, and Helen. So blood flow and nerve flow. So blood flow for the lower body is T7. Hips again. You're welcome, Doug. Let me know if that will all help a lot. And exercise, of course, you need to do more than the average person. Yoga is great. Moving and stretching, because especially for the lung capacity, you want to keep this area open. What happens sometimes, it closes down. So you need to keep it open, which is exercise, stretching, body work, all that stuff. Goes for everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. T7 and T12, digestion, absorption, and elimination, and the knees. So let's work on the knees. Bladder 54. It's a great point for the knees. And we want to make sure we don't miss the lymph and liver. T3 for the lymph for everyone. T7, the lymph for everyone. The spleen, which is the large lymph node. T9 for the liver for everyone for detoxing. So two-part process for detoxing the skin and the lymph, T4, T9 for everyone. We'll call that the hookah protocol. So we cover the lymph and the emotions, C1, C2, GB13 for the emotions for everyone, including Laura and Tundrakil. And I'm always interested to know where you're chiming in from. United States, West Africa, Europe, Asia. We have quite a different group, probably not so much Europe because it is boxing bag. Boxing is something that seems to be especially suited for Parkinson's. Silver sneakers, I don't know what silver sneakers are, but you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're going to do okay. Must detox. Clay for detoxing, boxing for exercise, the herbs for the tremors, the herbs for the tremors, and the foods and herbs for the detox as well. Blood flow to the brain, and grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And Ray, good to see you. And we have Rachel, Maine, chiming in from Maine. Thank you. And Rachel F. Oops. Good. They should pay for everything. A good source for the next person too, which has for tremors, and also for you, Doug, is Himalaya brand Mucuna pruriens. Good source from India itself. For the tremors, Mucuna pruriens, also known as velvet bean. So let's do blood flow to the brain, tapping for prostate cancer, right shoulder, angelic light X. Oh, there you go. Welcome. We have some of our students. Also work for tremors, brain, command points of the brain. And let's work specifically on the substantia nigra part of the brain, which manages tremors. And welcome, Bill. So let's work on shoulder release and right shoulder. So we've got people from Maine, Canada, United States, Massachusetts so far. And for sure, Doug, everything you're doing will have a good benefit. Keep important your B12 and alpha lipoic acid for the health of your nerves in case there is some neural issue involved in all this, just to support your nervous system, your nerves directly themselves. Vertebral artery. Right shoulder, all the ouch points, blood flow, brachial plexus, nerve flow, spinal artery blood flow, femoral arteries, brachial plexus to the right shoulder, tremors in the right hand. I've heard it said that if you have tremors, you look in a mirror, you can stop your tremors, at least temporarily. So blood flow and nerve flow for the prostate, T7, L3. And hello, angelic lights, Light X. How are you? Yep, got some students here. And for Drew, T7 right side, kidneys, liver, T9 right side, kidneys, L2. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for inflammation. And Maine is one of my favorite places for sea vegetable supply. Larch Henson, he lives up there in Maine. I might be visiting him this summer as well. Took in a deep breath. There you go. Breathing devices, good for AFib, asthma, sleep apnea, techniques, not so hard. This would be a good option for you because it will increase oxygenation of the body, regulate the sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system balancing. And grounding. Very good. Good to see you. Angelic lights, Light X. I'm doing fine. Okay, so we work on the prostate. Let's work on another area for the prostate, CV4, which is if you are a tapper yourself, Laser is good for CV4 for the lower area, especially prostate, ovaries, reproduction. So let's actually work on a little bit for the balancing of the hormones as well in this area. CV4 also for Lara. And right hand ouch point for the tremors. Great to see you guys. Our international healing community. What could be better? And Katrina Carlson McBrearty, we did not forget you. Mother Linda, Alzheimer's and mobility. We'll work on that. And then we will also work with Detox for calm creature. Blood flow to the brain for Alzheimer's. So the best thing we can do from a tapping perspective for the brain is blood flow. 3 areas to maximize blood flow to the brain. Sky window, carotid artery, vertebral artery, occipital artery. Sore throat. We don't want to forget you either. Ray. Sore throat, bad headache. So, see 1, 2, and 3 for the headache, but there's a special point for headaches. TB20. Right here in the middle of the skull. If you put real good pressure there, it will release tension from a headache. Sounds like stress, no fever, but sore throat. See 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the sore throat. We have lung and sinus infections as well. See 3, 4, and 5. Yep, see if you can check if it's a fever. They get those cool temperature guns. Anti-inflammation for anything. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, including the T3, T4 for the detox and lungs. For calm creature. Yeah, if you don't have a thermometer, just feel your head. If you don't feel hotter than usual, that's a good thing. No sweating. Checking your sweating. Can't see your picture. Is that Ray? The Ray of Tom and Ray? T 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation, lung and sinus infections, completely for detox is T3, T4 for the skin, T9 for the liver, T7 for the spleen, L2 for the kidneys. So good, you're taking supplements for EBV. They're good EBV homeopathic tinctures, so that sounds great. So GB13 for despair, microbiome, because lots of happy hormones are generated in the gut that are transmitted to the brain, so that's one good way to do it. Fermented foods. Sinus infections, I would do a steam bowl with essential oils like lavender, and then also good for the lungs and detoxing. So inhale that. That will be a local, direct antimicrobial blast for your sinuses, your bronchioles, and your lungs. CD17 for the lungs and breathing, heart chakra for despair, ouch point for the sinuses. Tapping also, we will be tapping also for Augustina and Dina and Rachel and Jay. Blood flow to the brain. And we will be tapping for perfect bloods, reduced spleen enlargement from EBV. Definitely castor oil packs, happy civilian. Castor oil packs on the liver and the spleen areas. Yes, Ray. Good to see you, Ray. Join us every week. That'd be great. Blood flow to the brain. Command point to the brain. Command point to the brain stem. So the spleen enlargement is, you're saying, is from EBV or CML. Spleen is a backup blood supply, so if the bone marrow is compromised, the backup is the spleen, and if there's a real challenge, the spleen can become enlarged. Lymph drainage, castor oil packs, clay baths. Blood flow, nerve flow. So let's do the 3 blood supplies for Augustina. Carotid artery, vertebral artery, and occipital artery, and the brain stem. Isabel, if you like, you can tell people where you're coming in from. It's very late there. Please tap along with us. We have a master tapper from Europe. T7 for the spleen. T1 for the bone marrow. Crystal Palace around the pituitary. To the tail, to the sacrum area for craniosacral fluid. Central nervous system, sensory cortex, motor cortex, to balance out the entire central nervous system. So we might run a few minutes late. I see some different things we get from India everywhere. So let's get going. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points for brain injury. Focus, GB13 left side, right side, and GV17 for balance. So we're looking for severe brain injury, focus, and balance. GV17 for balance. Blood flow, nerve flow, and nauseousness. T7 to T12. And healthy cholesterol levels, good circulation, and again GV17. Healthy cholesterol levels, best thing you can do is not to introduce any extra cholesterol through your diet, which is animal products, if you have cholesterol issues, especially. But gallbladder bile duct, cholesterol, and the liver, of course. Liver T9, 10, 11 for cholesterol. TV17 for circulation. C3, 4, and 5 for the periodontal teeth areas. And while we're here, we're going to work on tight neck and shoulders. And sluggish metabolism, GV20, C6, C7. Anti-inflammation, T1, T3, 4, 7, 8. And the microbiome for depression and constipation, T11, T12, L4, L5. And for autism, definitely do detoxing, juicing, the heavy metal detox aggressively. Vitamin C, chelation therapies are good as well for Liam. Blood flow to the brain, detoxing for the autism, T4 for the skin, T9 for the liver, L2 for the kidneys, L4 and L5 for the microbiome. Lumbosacral plexus, T11, T12, L4 and L5, constipation. And CV4 also for constipation. GB13 for the depression directly. And anxiety, GB13 right side and left side. Shoulder release point again for the shoulders. And C3 and the eyes, ouch point for the dry eyes. Definitely recommend simulation homeopathic for the eyes. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And we work for Dina, Rachel J. Again, we will. So we want to work on AFib, aortic valve stenosis, diverticulosis, atherosclerosis, which I've never heard of, L4 and L5. Okay, yep, we got it. Blood flow to the brain, and for your mom, Ferris, for your glaucoma. There's an herbal formula I'm looking in that we can all look at. I think it's called Clear Eyes. Blood flow to the brain. Command point to the brain. And also Mahadev, who's been in a coma 13 days in Kolkata after brain surgery. Right frontal parietal lobe, temporal lobe. GB13 right side. In tongue area for coma, connecting to your true self, awakening your spiritual vitality to wake up out of a coma. And does your mom, did we talk about the sleep tape for your mom? Glaucoma, GB17. Occipital arteries. C3 for the eyes. GB17 for the circulation and pressure for the eyes. So let's work at T7, S1 to S5 for the bladder, strengthening the bladder muscles. Blood flow for the eyes, facial artery, vertebral artery, and C3 for the eyes for your mom, Paris. Good to see you. C1, C2, GB13, right side and left side for Calcutta, Mahadev. Grounding liver 3 and kidney 1. So we're going to be over a few minutes. I hope you can all hold in there. Jolly Habitant, email me and I can send you a link to get the laser. It's not a wall measurement laser exactly. It's different kind, cat toilet. No, similar, same kind of contact idea. But let's continue on. Whoa, we have a lot more stuff to go. So I'm guessing we'll finish up around 7:10. For anybody that needs to leave right away, I understand. But let's continue. I will not leave anybody unattended to. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points, brain stem command points. your husband, Manju. Chronic kidney, L2, T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, T1 to T8. Boost immune system. And from Ray, huge healing, great. Sit, relax, have a little bit of water, but rest and let the energy continue to move for you. Glad to see you, kid. So for the kidneys and acute left neck and upper back pain, so that would be the shoulder release point. GB21. And we'll continue work on the neck, chronic severe neck pain, especially C5, 6, and 7. C6, C7, T, and the kidneys, L2. Uterine fibroid, castor oil packs, and also uterine support, a kit called Uterine Wise from a company called Fertility, naturalfertilityshop.com, Heather Rodriguez, a castor oil herbal kit focused specifically on uterine fibroids and the uterine area. I highly recommend it. And ADHD, GB13, left side and right side. All the frontal lobe, executive dysfunction, that's what he's saying. So we have a lot of great requests today. And C1, C2, GB13 right side, left side. And grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And ADHD, executive dysfunction, check your breathing, make sure you're nasal breathing, not mouth breathing. And Daniel for vagus nerve as well. So Daniel, constipation, blood pressure, normalization. That would be the vagus nerve, GB13. These types of devices are really good for blood pressure. These are resistance training breathing devices. But GV17 is for blood pressure, cardiac respiratory vasculatory center of the medulla. There's a great video about diabetes. A policeman, about 7 years diabetes, about to go blind, getting neuropathy, losing his job. He went plant-based for about 4 or 5 weeks. He was angry because it solved his diabetes so thoroughly for him and his mom. He was diabetes-free within about a month after having severe medications and diabetes for over 7 years. There was a testimonial of him, a video. Plant-based, green smoothies, exercise. You can reverse type 2 diabetes from diet usually. GV17 for sure, blood pressure balancing, sometimes too high, sometimes too low, but especially the heart, T5, the heart and pericardium. So, Jolly Habitant, where did you travel to? Chronic loose stools, cold, sounds like possible. Parasites. So again, vagus nerve balancing for Daniel and Jolly Habitant. So T1 to 8, inflammation, T7 to T12 for intestinal problems, chronic loose stools, T1 to T8 for post-shingles pain, which is an Epstein-Barr virus. Acute left pinky, so we start on the nerves for the pinky, from the brachiosacral plexus of the nerves, down to the pinky itself. And people are asking about the last Thursday healing session. That would be on Instagram or on Facebook. On here, it gets redone each week. So this will be available up until next Wednesday. Then it will be replaced on Thursday with a new one. But it's still always available constantly on Instagram and on Facebook and YouTube. Still there. Okay, and let's wrap it up. We're almost there for you guys. If you email me, I can send you the video. Somebody sent it to me. I forget the name of it exactly. What kind of laser? If you email me, Jolly Habitant, joe@anusarwellness.com, my email. It's up at the top. And the question is there a benefit to watching the videos if they are not live? Yes, there is, because in many ways, just as I am here, allowing your consciousness to connect to the collective unconscious or the oneness of the open heart of compassion, something else can trigger it even at another time. And as you look at it, your subconscious mind will be connecting through the morphic field of the connection. I know it sounds unusual, but it will be just another trigger. Just as if you watch a replay of a really good movie and you get excited, well, that movie is in the past. You're still connecting to those emotions as if they were yours. But the collective unconscious is a way to connect to energy and eventually opening up blockages for yourself in your own body. So yes, watching the reruns is a great idea. I don't know how to, if you look up Google, depends on your browser. Downloading videos from Facebook, it really depends upon your browser. It's easier not on Chrome, it's easier on the other browsers. But yes, you can download that, or just keep a link to it and watch it again and again from there. So everyone, joe@anusarwellness.com. Email me if you want things about lasers, other questions you have for today. And we worked on everyone, and it seems like it's working. Happy Mama, thank you. And look up Google. Google and download from Facebook. Depends upon the browser. Some of them don't really allow it easily unless you know how to do coding. And thank you very much. So let's just do a chi boost for everyone. And let's do some nice calm chi for Isabel. In Tong area. T7 left side for Isabel for sleep. She's chiming in from Europe. Is that Monterey, California? Thank you for joining us, Isabel. The third eye, in Tong area, melatonin, and calming for you. Hope your friends are all doing well. Let me know. Hussein, Pascal, Heidi. Nosef. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sorry for the delay. We got a lot of great requests. So I lived in Monterey before. Yep, I actually lived in Monterey. Oh, cool. Mumbashari says, I listened to your broadcast before and during getting blood work. Thank you. And Angelic Light, awesome to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We had a great group tonight. My guess is between 50 and 75 people. And I really are requests and probably 30 to 50 people. So please join us again. Tongren is a slow, subtle, but very profound and very effective healing therapy. Slowly is less frequency, more frequency, less intensity is sometimes better, but just do it several times a week. My second recommendation is Yvonne and Jacqueline on Mondays at 6. But if you go to tongrenStation.com, we're all over the world constantly. Thank you very much. Blessings to all of you. I pray and wish for your reduction in suffering and offer you kindness, love, and blessings to all of you. Thank you very much and have a great day.